Alright, welcome to a video on the volume of prisms and cylinders. So we just did a review from your previous classes on surface area. Now we're going to do something that's a little bit new and do volume. So when we did surface area, we were looking at the outside of our solids. The volume is the inside. So the volume is like I'm taking a bucket of water and filling up our solid. So, volume for a prism. Volume equals the area base times the height. So this is a lot more, I'm going to say, simpler than our surface area. At least it's supposed to be, hopefully. So volume equals area base times height. That's the smaller formula, this capital B times capital H. And then make sure you write down area formulas before you start plugging in numbers. So again, this is always a safe bet, and it helps me follow what you're thinking. So on your practice problems and your quizzes, I can go, okay, this is where the mistake was. They've missed this number, they wrote down the wrong formula, things like that. So help me help you. So let's go ahead, jump right in, and do two examples, and I'll have two examples for you to do. So we're going to start on the left with the hexagonal prism. So our volume is area base times height. Remember, the height is what connects your two bases. So our volume equals, the base is a hexagon, and it's a regular polygon, so that is 1/2 times apothem times perimeter of the base, and then we're just going to multiply the height in there. So we're going to do 1/2 times the apothem, which is 3.5, times the perimeter, which would be 4 times 6, or you could just plug in 24 there if you knew that was 24, times the height, and our height is 3. So we plug this in the calculator, we get 126, and then it's feet squared. And let's go ahead, if we don't get a nice decimal, let's go ahead and just make it rounding to the nearest hundredth, so 2 decimal places. Okay, now I'm going to do the one on the right. Now on here, this is a rectangular prism, which means I get to pick the base. Well, I want this to be the base, so these are our bases. So that means we're still going to do area base times height. Area of a rectangle, because that's what that is a rectangle. Base times height, and then we're going to multiply our capital height. So the base of that rectangle is 6, the height of that rectangle is 5, and the height of the prism is 7. That's weird. There we go. So we plug this in the calculator and we get 210, and then our units are centimeters cubed. I realized I messed up over here. I put feet squared. It should be feet cubed. Volume is cubed. The reason it's cubed and not squared is this. When we were doing surface area, you only multiplied 2 dimensions together. So for surface area, you were essentially just doing base and then height. You're multiplying 2 things together. So it's 2 dimensions together. Volume, we're multiplying 3 dimensions together. We're doing the base, the height, and the depth. We're all multiplying together. So because it's 3 dimensions, our units are cubed. Okay, so now I have 2 examples I want you to try on your own. So go ahead, pause the video, and do that now. Alright, so here's my solutions to those 2 problems. Go ahead, check your work with mine. Make sure we both did it right. After that, we're going to move on to cylinders. So, the volume of a cylinder is the same formula as the volume of a prism, area base times height. But again, the base is a circle, so the area is always going to be pi r squared, so we can actually change that volume formula into pi r squared multiplied by the height of that cylinder. So, it makes it a little bit easier. We just write that out, and then we can plug in the numbers. So there's no guessing on the area formula. Alright, so I'm going to do the one on the left, leave you to do the cylinder on the right. So our volume formula is pi radius squared times the height. So the radius of our base is 6, and our height is 7, and that's in kilometers. So we just need to put that into our calculator, and we get 791.681. We're rounding to the hundredths place, so the volume is 791.68 kilometers cubed. Okay, so go ahead and let you do the one on the right. Pause the video and do that now. Okay, so there's my solution to that cylinder. Go ahead, check your work with mine. After that, you're good with this video.